Hello, fellas.
Hi.
Hello.
Thanks for being here today, Jack and Sean. We appreciate it. Do you mind telling us about your music journey?
Shall I go? Shall I start?
Go ahead.
So we're in Sixgunsmoke. We write our own stuff. From a band standpoint, I guess it dates back to we were in, same band, different name.
Yeah.
We were called the DiBiase's, and we were doing kind of the bar scene where we do like covers, and it was like we kind of put our own spin on it, and we love the creative aspect of music. So from there, it just kind of evolved into our influences, started writing songs, and then it just kind of developed into what we are now, right?
And that was what, like 13-ish years ago, I think we started as the DiBiase's.
Yeah.
It actually started out with Jack and Dre.
True.
Being a duo. Mm-hmm. And I shared an office with Jack's wife Daniela at work, and he would always be in, because we all worked together, Jack and Dre and I worked together. He'd always be in the office chatting with his wife and with Dre, and I was always bugging them, you need a bassist, you need a bassist, you need a bassist. And then finally one day they're like, hey, you want to come out? We need a bassist. So I came out and tried out, and well,
You liked it?
Yeah.
and they have put up with me ever since.
Well, yeah, I mean, we got the idea for a bassist from you.
Yeah,
So it was preferred candidate.
Yeah.
But yeah, Sean joined up, and then we started doing the bar scene and the covers. And again, we kind of had this unique sound. It's kind of like a Tarantino Motorhead-ish sound with the covers that developed into the songwriting.
Yep.
And then we just kind of started writing our own stuff. And lo and behold, was it 2020? We made the album?
Something like that, yeah.
So then we wrote enough songs that we had enough for an album, so we put out an album. And in 21, I think, it got nominated for East Coast Music Awards, so we were pretty excited about that. Yeah, Loud Recording of the Year. We didn't win, but
That was Botfly.
they were so good. They were so good.
It's no
But yeah, I mean, it's still
Accomplishment still.
Yeah. I mean, coming from a small town, there's not too many hard rock, punk rock original bands. So to come from here and get to do that and have the support of the town and a lot of we even today when we still play, we still see a dozen or so of. They're always at every show, or they come and make an appearance, and we're appreciative of that. So, I mean, we just like creating and playing and performing and having fun, and it's a pretty low pressure band, I like to think.
Yeah.
Right. And we got into like the merch game, and it's just strange because we all played like in a bunch of bands, and we go play shows, and a lot of bands are way younger than us.
Yeah.
But we just love it, and I'm gonna try to keep doing it as long as I can. This old body will hold up. So, haven't hit this part where I'm like sitting down playing guitar yet with our stuff. The acoustic stuff's different, but
I've played with holes in me that shouldn't be there.
That's true.
Last year.
Yeah, Sean's been a trooper because he battled through some health concerns, but I mean, I think we all had to a certain extent.
Yeah. You and Dre both with surgeries, me with surgeries.
Yeah, so
all beat up, but we still keep playing.
We still keep playing.
Punks we are.
Yeah, we were in St. John a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
New Haven
Music Hall.
Haven Music Hall. And it was a good time.
Yep.
And we're at Punk Fest in Fredericton on 29th and the 28th and the 29th. So yeah, we just play and love to create, and we got a second album that we worked on. It's been tracked, so we're just kind of waiting on getting that to the next phase. So yeah, we're pretty proud to say got albums that you have, and I don't know, we just love to create, and that's the world we grew up. Like, you do it yourself, you lug your gear, put on shows, you play with other bands, you buy their merch, you support them, they support you.
And nobody makes any money.
And no, yeah, it's not a money making venture what we do for sure. But and it's inspiring for me too to see guys like Dylan, Ryan, like and Riley, like those guys pound the pavement. They get their shows, like, and that they're younger than us, but it keeps us inspired too to see younger generation of bands that want to do that. Yeah. And it's pretty cool. It's a good vibe here in Miramichi for me, for the music scene. So I got nothing bad to say about it. But yeah, that's pretty much your journey.
Awesome. That's really good. But what would you say that a few factors that kept you guys together as a band? Because I know it must be hard.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just that we're friends first. Like we were friends, but we're like the kind of friends where he could say something to me and I don't get offended because there's some truth to it, right? Mm. And we have a lot of discussions, but it's never like
there's never animosity.
No,
it's
like we don't
like
have
family.
to.
It's closer to being in a band with brothers than it is with guys that I know. Like I've been in bands with guys I know, and there's nothing keeping you there. Even if it's good chemistry. I've been in other bands that were also way better than me, musicians that were way better than me. So it's not the fact that I'm riding coattails, because I'm definitely, they might say different, but I'm definitely the least talented in the band. I'm typically that in any band I'm in. And it's not riding coattails, it's keeping me there. It's not the creative freedom or anything like that that's keeping me there. It's the people that I'm playing with that are like family to me. And for a time I was actually out of the band for health and monetary concerns. And my nephew filled in, James. He was the bassist during that time. And going to see the guys play with another bassist, it was like walking in and seeing your girlfriend making out with another guy. It's like, oh my god!
Hard.
It was hard to see. And then it was like slipping back into my old boots when I rejoined the band. It was like coming back home.
Well, I think a big key to that too, though, is that like why we get along is we compromise a lot. But a part of compromise is like you don't always have to change what you want to do. We have a lot of discussions about particularly songs, like let's do this or this timing or like. But in the end, we just kind of always seem to find a way to just be like, look, it's not personal. It's just a discussion about what's the best interest of the band. Yeah, and I think that's what we kind of always maintained. I guess just always kind of like. This is our sound, this is what we do, we kind of know what we are, and do we think this fits, or maybe a bit of this fits and this part doesn't, so we can trash it and come up with something else. And we're all open to like different ideas, and like we have sessions where I'll bring an idea to the jam spot and we just like really work it out.
Spitball it. Jack comes in with a riff or two and shows it to Dre and I, and as the song fleshes out, he gets our input, but he's definitely the creative force behind the band. The kind of signature sound that we have is driven by his hollow body Gretsch and his Fender Hot Rod with lots of reverb and just his writing style. And Dre and I buy into that style. We love it. It's fun to play. And typically, when Jack brings us a song, we don't have to give a whole lot of input because it's how I'd like to write it if I was writing that song. So there's that. There's a whole lot of chemistry that comes from playing together for so long, and from the backgrounds that we've come up from.
Yeah. Agreed.
That there doesn't have to be a whole lot of back and forth with development. usually we're pretty much on the same page.
That's really good. It's very rare.
And
Yeah.
well, it helps prevent those creative arguments that tend to tear apart other bands.
Yeah.
Right.
The fact that we're all on the same page, or at least in the same chapter, really helps bind us together as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like part of it is like not being married to anything. Like if we write a song, we put it on like the album's a great example because there's like we have stuff on there, and then you come and see us live, and like the arrangement's the same, but like
We're playing it.
I play like a different solo 3 nights in a row, and your bass line sometimes you like do this one night and you feel, but like some guys I guess might
Sometimes
get upset
I
with
play
that.
a different song.
Yeah, sometimes you play a completely different song, different keys and everything.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think I don't know. To me, music's got to be real, and it's got to be from the heart.
100%.
And when you're seeing somebody perform,
Yeah.
like they can be, in my opinion, an okay musician, but if they're a great performer and they move you, then it doesn't matter their level of skill or what they're trying to accomplish. It's just, and I just always bought into that, and I guess that's like why I always grew up with listening to punk rock music, because it was just it spoke to me, and I love it for everything that it is. I love the screamcore, like angry punks. I love the ska punks. I love them all.
Yeah.
I love the skate punks. I just love it. And plus, like, I don't have a very great attention span, so those songs are like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So that works very well for me.
Yeah.
But it just inspired me to play. But further to that, I think it inspired the heart of the band.
Yeah.
And the soul of the band. And we just kind of, it's all we've ever known.
Yeah.
So it's all we've ever done. Mm-hmm. And ironically, in today's music, it's like, it's so unique to do it that way, but it's kind of, that's all we've ever grown up knowing.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we just kind of, pardon the pun, but stick to our guns.
No.
And we just kind of, we know how we operate, and it just works, and I think that's why we kept the longevity we had, because it's hard to play original stuff and keep some longevity, but
Yeah.
and then this also, I guess we should comment, it sprung the door open to like meet other bands that do the same thing.
Yeah.
So you learn from them, like how they do merch, or this spot's a great spot to eat, or this is a great venue to play, or like when you're on the road, like stuff like that. And I got a friend here, like you can trust him, and like like they can hook you up with like I don't know, whatever cheaper hotel rate or whatever it is.
So
They're like or a good sound guy, or a good guy for merch, or so yeah, we got a couple BFF bands that we always kind of play with and reach out to and catch up with, and it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun, and it's easy. And when something's fun and easy, you just want to do it more and more and more. And I think that's kind of what created the soul of the band. So, yeah.
I like the fact that you mentioned about connecting with music and how persons would resonate with whatever they're listening to. So how do you guys feel about your audience? How do you think your audience receives your type of music?
Well, I hope. I mean, one thing I guess that we get a lot of is that we don't sound like anybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's like a pretty big compliment in today's world, because everybody kind of sounds like somebody, and nobody can really describe us.
Yeah.
And
we can't even really describe ourselves.
We can't really
half
describe
the time.
ourselves, like how we sound or what we sound like. And I like that. I like bands that are unique and like got their own thing. And so, I mean, I guess the vibe that we get is we get a lot of people say we're energetic.
Yeah.
And just that, it's like something different. And I guess what was an eye-opener for me was that when we put our album out, I would just kind of like talking to friends, and I was like, what's your favorite song? And everybody had a different one.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. It's like I like that. I like that everybody has a different favorite song, because that means that
you can tell they didn't listen to the first two songs and then just there's a name that I know. I'll tell them that.
Yeah. And but I don't know. The crowd always seems to receive us well.
Yeah.
And we feed off their energy.
Yeah.
So I mean, we just like to play for people, and we seem to get a good good a good welcoming when we play.
That's good. I know that COVID had affected a lot of persons. How had COVID affected the band?
A lot.
A lot. Sean lives in Moncton, so he lives, like an hour and some away. And it was wild because like everybody,
The restrictions. Miramichi would be restricted from access to Moncton and vice versa. So I wasn't able to come down to jam. Shows were limited at best.
Yeah.
Like, we couldn't even practice and write a whole lot of material.
No.
Wow.
So it gave Jack some time to polish some stuff.
Right.
That's true. I mean, the bright side of it, I guess, in a way, was that gave me time to write a lot of these songs for the second album for us to kind of sort through, which was nice. And when it started to kind of lift a little bit, we got into a couple of really neat opportunities. We were able to raise some money for
The Miramichi Women's Shelter.
The Miramichi Women's Shelter. We did
nice.
we did when it got to the point where we could be in the room together and not too close.
Yeah.
We ended up doing an online stream, and we made, I don't know,
600
some bucks to donate.
Then we re-aired it, I think 6 months or a year later, and got another 400 in donations, I think.
Yeah, so we were pretty proud of that, to try to give back, and they needed help, and it was a hard time, and for us, we were able to do that, and I don't know, we just always seem to come up with we can't do that, so let's not waste energy crying about it.
Yeah, find a way around.
Keep people safe and find a way around, and we'll work on the things that we can. So
Very innovative.
yeah.
Very creative, yeah. It's a good story from both of you.
Thank you. Yeah,
it's a lot of years in the band, as you said, and the friendship. So that does help to actually keep you guys inspired and motivated.
Yeah.
So that's good, and you can be honest with each other as well. So with that too, it does help boost what you're doing, and for you to even do live streams and raise funds. No matter if it's $1 or $5, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
That's something that a lot of persons would want to do, but they're either shy or don't have that capacity or the opportunity.
Yeah.
So for you guys to actually do that for your community, that's actually good. So I appreciate you being here today, both of you being here today, and we wish you nothing but the best. And I'm hoping that we'll get to have you again here for part 2. And now it's the fun part. It's the music part where you just show your talent and show your album and what you've been working on and what you guys have been doing through the years.
Okay. Well, again, we're pretty loud usually, but I got a couple acoustic versions of things lined up just in case. So I'll do one of those for you today.
Awesome. All right.
Left all the big noisy stuff away, so I won't be partaking in the music part. That's probably for the best anyway.
Awesome. All right, guys. So you ready to get started?
Yes.
Perfect.
The first one is called Devil Woman. And to be honest with you, I was just watching a movie, and it was pretty much this guy and this girl. They would fight, and break up, and get back together. He had a bit of a weakness for her. So I just kind of said, okay, well, it's just kind of a song about how in some relationships, as much as you try to move on to somebody else, it just doesn't happen. You keep finding your way back to each other. So, Devil Woman. All right, here we go. See those eyes? They cut like a knife. Feel that skin slither in the night. Yeah, I know, saw you before. Baby, don't come back, no.
your eyes that you want to spend the night. Yeah, I knew, felt you before. Devil woman, don't come back no more. If I knew what I know now, would've walked away somehow. Devil woman. I can tell by that look in your eye that you want to spend the night. Yeah, I knew, felt you before. Devil woman, don't come back no more. If I knew what I know now, would've walked away somehow. Devil.
Thank you very much.
Had a good flow to it. Like, the beats.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's usually louder. Yeah, usually a little louder.
That's a pump song. I can feel it.
Yeah, I mean, there's, you know, for us, like, we just kind of, there's a fundamental, I don't know, like, I write a lot of the stuff on the acoustic, so when I write it, I just, like, well, what do I call it, the Gretsch test.
Yeah.
So I'll write it on this guitar, and then I'll, like, put it through my electric guitar, and I'm like, is it us? Is it something
okay.
So it's kind of like, oh yeah, I think we could work with that or whatever, and I bring it, and then sometimes I show up and I got like 10 riffs, and sometimes it's like I got nothing.
Yeah.
So, but a lot of them, for the most part, translate well into an acoustic version. And I heard an interview a long time ago, I don't know which musician it was, but they're like, if you can play something like super heavy and then do it on acoustic and it's good there too, that's just a good song. Like, so
It's Zach Wilde that said that.
it might be Zach
Strikes me
Wilde.
that it was Zach Wilde that said that.
So
But then I'm
yeah, him and I don't talk much.
I'm on the outs with Zach. I don't speak too much these days. So.
Jack Wilde.
There we go. My Sean
Yeah, so
Osborne.
Shawn Mendes.
Oh god.
But yeah, like that's I would probably say that every song that we've ever done on the album or live was always written on an acoustic. And yeah, I got this old $30 acoustic that I have, and it just sits around my house, and I just pick it up, and sometimes I pick it up to practice like the covers I do when I'm doing the solo thing out and around town, but sometimes it's just I aim to practice my covers, but then I start like, oh, it's kind of a nice riff, where is this gonna go? And then I just kind of just
go off on a tangent.
just go off on a tangent and write stuff and annoy my wife and kids, and so, but I like poor Marissa, I hope I don't embarrass her too much, but there's a couple songs my band plays and she legitimately likes them. So it's kind of like, in a way, you're kind of like, hey, if you can impress your 14-year-old daughter and she likes your music, then you're
that's
they gotta be okay. They gotta be okay. So sorry, Marissa. So
Can you give us one more?
I can do one more. Probably do Taker, maybe.
Taker, yeah.
Do you remember that one?
Well, that's one of the like 3 songs that I know the name of. Yeah, it starts on A. I don't even need my cheat sheet.
I know. So this one, it's kind of, I don't like really write about people I know or myself or anything like that. I just like, I don't know. I just see things like in a movie or on the news and I'm like, I wonder how they're feeling, or I wonder how this went, and then I just like, I write the riffs, and then I always actually write the music and the lyrics come after. Mm-hmm. I get like a vibe for how that music goes, so it's kind of like the idea behind that music, I think this will go with that or whatever. And this one is called The Taker. We shortened that up though, because it used to be
just Taker.
Yeah, it used to be When the Taker Comes to Town at first. Yeah. And we're like, that's too long to say. So it's called The Taker. But how I got this idea was I actually saw this short clip on YouTube. It was like 10 minutes, and it was kind of a clip about how humans are their own worst enemy. Mm-hmm. And it was like this little cartoon short, like I said, 9 or 10 minutes, and they were like at a small town, and like an undertaker was just like sitting around the town, and he was just waiting for somebody to die. And I was like, this is so strange, but like I can't look away. Anyway, so he sat there, and they were like, anyway, it was like Sunday, and then everybody went into the church in this cartoon, and they were starting to question why he was there. And then it turned into why he was there to who is he there for. And he's like, well, I'm not going to let this happen to me. And best friends in this clip were like, well, he's not going to happen to me. I'm not letting it happen. And then they started fighting. And then in the end, of course, you know, bad things happened, but that's why he went. And the Undertaker was waiting for humanity to destroy themselves. And I was like, wow, this is pretty powerful stuff. So, in light of that, I wrote this song called The Taker. And inspired by that short, which I can't remember the name. Probably, that was a long time ago.
Oh, you need a bass player.
Yeah, I forgot how much I missed Dre's like.
Yeah.
I was like, wait, what am I doing here? So yeah, a couple songs from our first album.
That was awesome. Do
Yeah.
you mind repeating the name of the band for the?
Sixgunsmoke. And we're on all your streaming platforms, so Spotify, iTunes, Apple Music. You can go like us on Facebook or follow us on all our socials, Instagram, all the stuff I guess that matters now. And Sixgunsmoke from Mare Machine, New Brunswick.
Awesome.
This is Sixgunsmoke, and we're
We're repping
repping
Denka Media.